We continue covering Colorado first for you tonight. From the western slope where boaters may be looking for a new place to dock this summer. Blue Mesa Reservoir will not open its marinas for the 2022 season. That's according to the National Park Service. Many of the boat ramps will be closed, significantly limiting the recreational use of the reservoir. The closures come after water was released from that area to help the declining levels in Lake Powell. As we're witnessing the impact of low water levels in our state, Nebraska isn't backing down on plans to come into Colorado and build a canal to move water out of the South Platte. The governor there says a 100-year-old compact gives them the right. Our governor fired back, saying it would be a canal to nowhere, unlikely to ever be built. Karen Morford went to northeastern Colorado to talk with the families and farmers caught in the middle of this. And Karen, their response is to let them.
Yeah, Karen, well, because the South Platte River is used by so many people, including us here in Denver, before it ever reaches northeastern Colorado, they understand the concerns coming out of Nebraska, but they also understand how water rights work, and they say Nebraska is near the end of the line. A small town bordering the Nebraska state line, Julesburg is built on the land that surrounds it.
The farming, it's our lifeblood. You know, if we don't have those, we don't have the grocery stores, we don't have gas stations, we don't have insurance agencies.
Like a vein through the community, the South Platte River has been pumping water into the area for decades.
We're all concerned about making sure that our water gets to our ag producers, to our towns, our communities, and so, yeah, these little areas would dry up without it.
Jay Goddard runs the bank in Julesburg and owns pasture just outside of town. Running through his land is an abandoned canal project that Nebraska started years ago, before finding it was a flawed plan.
Yeah, I knew exactly. When they started talking about it, I knew exactly what they were talking about.
Now, Nebraska wants to return to that plan, saying a 100-year-old compact allows them to do so. Under the agreement, Colorado is required to keep water flowing at a certain rate into Nebraska every year during irrigation season. But it also allows for some diversion outside of that time. The portion Nebraska Governor Pete Ricketts has raised issue with.
In the non-irrigation season, Colorado has not been providing us the water that is called for under the compact.
And that's where the canal would be needed.
We're obligated to meet that.
Jim Yan, who manages the North Sterling Reservoir, says the compact is clear. They can do it, but questions why they would want to.
They're not going to get as much water as they would like, and they're going to be diverting it in the wintertime. So it's going to be tough.
Nebraska would have to start pulling water near Ovid after more senior rights were met upriver first, among them filling several reservoirs.
We're usually taking most of the water in the river upstream, so they're just going to rely on what's left over down there.
The impact, he says, would be felt most by those who rely on wells.
I raise corn, hay, and T-bones.
Ranchers like Gene Manuello.
When we are short of water, we're able to use those wells to help subsidize the irrigation.
Along with that, concerns about what happens should those wells dry up.
I've kind of thought about this the last couple of days. These augmentation plans, because we're doing this recharge, we've created better flows in the river that go into Nebraska in the last 15, 20 years than there was before. And it's all because we are replacing our well usage.
There's a lot of pressure on irrigated agriculture.
Joe Frank, the manager of the Lower South Platte Conservancy District, says much of Nebraska's fear and motivation comes from expected growth in Colorado over the next several years, a fear they share.
That's probably our biggest threat. We do look at the Perkins Canal as a threat, and we know that it can be built, and we accept that. But this demand that's driven by population growth is probably our biggest threat down here.
He says they're trying to figure out how best to ensure water continues to flow into northeastern Colorado as well, in hopes that Nebraska will see they're fighting a similar battle.
They have a lot of feasibility work in front of them. They need to study how much water that's available.
But should they decide to go forward, it would mean taking over private property along its path here in Colorado, like that owned by Goddard.
You can see it's going to be a pretty good size.
He knows his pasture will be scarred, but it's those with farmland he's most concerned about. And as a neighbor, he says that concern includes those in Nebraska.
If it doesn't get to this part of the Colorado, then Nebraska's probably not going to get it.
Like everyone else along the river, his hope is that they can all work together.
Hopefully, when it's all said and done, there's a good solution to it.
Now, Colorado has always met the requirements of that compact. In fact, we often send more water than required. It's prompted discussions back here in Colorado about building more reservoirs in northeastern Colorado to kind of store some of that excess water from the South Platte River. It's likely that's some of the projects that Nebraska is scared of or hearing about that has spooked them. And we did reach out to the Nebraska governor on numerous occasions to get a comment. We did not hear back. We're live tonight in Denver. Karen Morfitt covering Colorado First.
Karen, we appreciate